All right, good people. You already know what it is. Songs that could do no wrong. Hosted by the baddest chaplain himself, Chris B. Hoping all is well with you and yours. Today we're about to take you on a musical journey.
Yeah.
Talking about going through funk, jazz, rock, and hip hop.
All that.
Talking to the good sister Kelly Glow. Kelly, how goes it?
What up, man? It's a beautiful day to be alive, yo. How you doing?
Man, feeling great, feeling fantastic as well, man. I'm so excited to speak with you. I think a lot of what you're doing is pretty awesome and pretty inspiring. And I just wanted you to take us a little bit on the journey in terms of how do you get to this point now where you've blended hip hop and education? Take us to the genesis. When did it all start for you?
Man, I feel like you just asked me that question off the movie. Like, when did you fall in love with hip hop?
Was that Brown Sugar?
Yeah. I mean, like hip hop, man. I mean, KRS-One said it the best. He said, "I am hip hop." Rap is something you do, but hip hop is how you live. So, I mean, for me, I remember just I grew up in Compton, California.
Okay.
And it was a time when, the music was just all around. And what a lot of people don't understand in California is that we had access to music, like everybody's music. It was this radio station, like 1580 K-Day. They played everybody, yo. Like it was nothing for us to hear, LL and Beastie Boys, a lot of New York stuff, and then turn around and hear the DOC and Easy, and all of that. So EPMD was out, Bismarcky, the Vapors, all of that. So we're out in California rocking to that, and out there, people are really into their cars, the low riders, and in the boom system. So you'll be standing outside in front of your yard and you can hear the music going down, the street or whatever. And that's so awesome. As a young girl, I remember my first rap, I wrote about the guys in the neighborhood because they kept sagging their khakis.
Yeah.
I thought it was ridiculous, So my first rap was kind of like a diss rap about the guys, about how they wore their pants,
Oh, you took it there.
Yeah, man. And but I had a gift for dance, you know what I'm saying? I was self-taught. Like when that music come on and that bass hit, I could just move. So that was my first, I guess, installment in hip hop was with the element of dance, not so much b-boying, but just grooving, hip hop, all of that. And I guess as you continue to grow and you get immersed in the culture, you're not separated from that. For sure. When I got older and I started, working on careers and stuff like that, I took my hip hop with me. You're not separated from it. I remember going to school and dressing the way I dress and listening to my music and they'll be telling you, don't come in that classroom with that. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you reject that, you're rejecting me. You know what I'm saying? I am hip hop. Yeah. It's like you're trying to tell me to leave my hip hop at the door and come in this classroom, and that's impossible because I am hip hop. So fast forward to me deciding to go to school. And deciding I wanted to go to the next level because no one in my family has earned a doctorate degree. And I had the opportunity to do so. But when I did that, I also told myself, okay, if I'm going to do this, I have to do something that I'm going to love. And
for sure.
I love hip hop. So I had to fight, but I got it done. So that's how you get to that point, just staying passionate about what you love.
So what were some of the challenges? What were people telling you? I'm sure it was sort of bittersweet for them, right? They hear that you're going to do doctoral studies and they're like, oh, we're so proud of Kelly. Then they hear you want to do it with hip hop. They're like, what?
Right.
How did that happen?
Man, it was tough because, believe it or not, it's still a lot of preconceptions of what hip hop is. And ideas of what it is, misconceptions, I guess I could say too. And people are scared of it still. They have their ideas when they, the first thing they think about is going to be, probably the most negative things out there, the Nicki Minaj and the Lil Wayne and stuff like that. So it was a lot of educating I had to do. I had to go back to the roots of what hip hop is and was. re-educate myself that, you know, the founding principles of hip hop were peace, love, unity, and having fun. You know, and then
Yeah.
going back to the original elements, because a lot of people, that's a biggest part of my dissertation that I spent
Mhm.
quite a bit of time on was defining what is hip hop. Because
Okay.
when you say the word hip hop, most people think rap. That's the first
Yes.
thing they think. They think rap, they think music, um, which is fine, but rap is not hip hop. Rap is a part of hip hop.
Right.
I had to explain to them, you know, that there's b-boying, there's graffiti, there's DJing, there's MCing, there's beatboxing, there's street entrepreneurialism, there's street
Hmm.
language, there's street fashion, you know, and knowledge of self. All of those are elements of hip hop. And when I say
Right.
hip hop, I'm talking about the culture of hip hop.
Yeah.
You know, rap is just an entity that's used for entertainment purposes that people can, you know, it's been commodified or people can sell
Right.
rap. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Can't sell hip hop. So,
Nah.
and in that aspect, when you talk about hip hop as culture, I mean, it's all through the schools. You know, you could walk into
Yeah.
any school and just look at how the kids are dressing, listen to what they're saying, you know, how they're interacting with each other, their goals for bettering themselves, starting their own businesses, and all of that is hip hop.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I feel like so many of our schools, going back to your original point, so many of our schools ask our students to leave hip hop at the door. You know,
Right.
we're talking about like dress policies. We talk about how students are supposed to speak in the classroom and in the
Mhm.
hallways. Do you think that there's a way that we could educate our educators to understand the positive attributes of it rather than viewing it as something that they have to combat?
Definitely, man. It's definitely needed because what's happening is when you tell kids to leave their hip hop at the door, you're automatically alienating them. You know,
Yeah,
and when you're in a situation like that, when you're feeling like you're not valued, that's going to turn you off. Now you can't focus. Now you can't learn. You know what I'm saying? Because you feel like the person in front of you doesn't even care about you. So
for sure.
definitely, I mean, you know, we definitely need to set up more opportunities for the educators to know what hip hop is, so they can identify it, and understand it a little better. You know.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So, going back to career as an MC, when did you number one take the name Kelly Glow, and number two, were you always sort of rapping as a Christian rapper, or did you sort of like evolve into rapping about God?
Yeah, man. I mean, I've had so many names.
Yeah, for sure,
You
for
know,
sure.
starting off with rapping. Like I started off dancing, and then I moved into rapping. Like
Right.
we were a beast. Like had a dance partner,
Mhm.
and we ran Atlanta, like winning all the talent shows and all that stuff. You know,
Cool, cool, cool.
and I was into house music. Like that was like we talking about
Yeah,
the golden age. I came up, so that I'm giving away my age a little bit, but
it's all good.
no, I was into you know, house music and just like real classic hip hop. And so I
Mhm.
dressed in a certain way that down here in Atlanta people didn't really quite understand. I'm talking like I wore the suede Pumas, I wore shell
Oh
toes,
wow.
I wore you know, baggy jeans, and my name back then was Lunchbox. I carry a lunchbox instead of a purse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I wear like house shoes, you know, the big fuzzy like Mickey Mouse house shoes, and like, you
yeah,
know, Mickey t-shirt. Like I was real like bright, you know, and elaborate with it on some kind of TLC vibe.
for
So
sure.
I was on the city bus, and this dude comes up to me. He was like, "You look like you know hip hop. You look like you know music, just based off of how I was dressed."
Right, right, right.
Um, I wrote this song and I have a part for a girl. I want you to check it out. So he spits this little rhyme. When I tell you it was like the wackest thing I ever heard in my life, I was like, I could write something better than that, and I don't even rap. And I promise that's how my career got started, right with that.
Oh man, he
You know, but
that's like the opposite version of being inspired. You were just like, I'm better than this guy. That's
yeah, I
amazing.
was like, well, if it's for the ladies, he got to represent right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
right, right, right.
yeah, so that was I teamed up with him. We started a little group. That was back in high school, and yeah, man. So we did a couple things, but then he kind of wanted to go in another direction. You know, being in a group is hard, man, because you got all
For
these
sure.
personalities and all this
For
stuff going
sure.
on.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I ended up going to another school. I ended up transferring and going to the School of Arts, North Atlanta School
Uh-huh.
of Arts here in Atlanta. So that you know, we kind of drifted apart, and I had got a whole new circle. Um, so then I started rapping with another guy. He was 1 year behind me in school, so then I ended up going away to college. You know,
Uh-huh.
so it was kind of hard for us. We didn't have all the technology you have now. You know what I'm saying? We
Right,
didn't
right, of
kind of keep
course.
up. So yeah, so then that's when I started going solo in college. But yeah, when I decided to actually do this for God, I'm gonna say it was like early 2000.
Oh
You know,
wow.
I had several opportunities to I guess get signed. You know,
Hmm.
really close opportunities, and then something
Yeah,
will happen where I feel like now looking back, I know it was like divine intervention. You know what
for
I'm
sure.
saying?
For sure.
Um, but every time I would get so close, like, oh, I'm about to get a deal, something will happen. Like I'll step in, you know what I'm saying,
Hmm.
and block that situation. So I was just like, you know what, uh, my dad is a pastor, and he will always
Hmm.
have stuff going on, you know, at the church and ask me to come do stuff. Um, and you know, when you're a pastor's kid, you rebellious, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of
Oh,
times I did stuff,
period.
you know, just because it's for my dad or whatever.
Right.
One day I was just like, no, this I'm not doing this for him. I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this because I love God. You know
Right,
what I'm
right.
saying? So I was like, okay, let me see what happens when I do this for God. And when I tell you, doors opened up that I never even would imagine. Like, I mean, I
Wow.
got elevated. It was so quick, so fast. You know, it was just mind blowing. Like, I put a band together. My first project, Ready for War, was kind of ahead of its time in terms of like Christian hip hop because that project was done with a complete live band. I had two
So,
keyboardists, a bass guitar, lead guitar, and a
hmm.
drummer. And people were just blown away. You know what I'm saying? Not only with the sound, like I said,
Yeah.
we called it like hip rock because it would kind of like manifest
Yeah.
into like you know these jazz ensembles and
Uh-huh.
you know things like that. And then sometimes like rock because my lead guitarist he was a black guy, but he loved like Black Sabbath.
Yeah, yeah,
So he would always bring in like that really hard metal like kind of sound, you know.
yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
but then but then the content, the music was heavy, but then we're talking about God, we're talking about Jesus.
Yeah.
So I mean it just blew people away to the point where we got invited to this thing called Life Fest. It still goes on. It's a huge festival out in Wisconsin.
Uh-huh.
So we get up there, you know, and they're like, "We want you to do your song." We have this is our first time at a big festival. We've never done anything like this, right? Um,
For
Lo and behold, we get backstage and there's like this huge tour bus and it's like Toby Mac and they're like, yeah, you're gonna go on right before him.
sure.
Like what? We're a little no name band at the time. I was living in Cleveland.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like doing this hip hop thing. And I mean, when I tell you God just elevated us, you know, we got an opportunity to play at the Georgia Dome for 25,000 people at a youth event. Like just stuff like that, man. It was just mind
Incredible.
blowing. So the whole time I was trying to do it for myself, you know what I'm saying? Nothing ever manifests. But the
Right,
moment I
right.
try to do it for God, yo, he's like, okay, you sure you want to
Doors.
do this? All right, here you go. Let's go. You know?
Incredible, man.
Yeah.
Incredible. And that really connects so much to what I saw an important verse to you, Matthew 5:16. Yeah, because I think a lot of folks sort of misinterpret the Christian walk with what I call like false piety. Like they try to be like fake humble.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it's just like, oh, I don't want to talk about it. I just do this over here. Or like they become like humble braggers and they kind of get it misconstrued. But what you're talking about is using your gifts for God fully, just shining in that way, letting your light shine in that regard for God, not just as a way to like really kind of put yourself on or, be fake humble.
Yeah. Definitely. Like I tell people all the time, like when you see me, I don't want you to just see me. I want you to see the Christ in me. I want you to
Hmm.
see the God in me. You
For
know,
sure.
a lot of people say, you know, there's a lot of talented people out here. A lot of people out here doing this thing, you know, this rap thing, hip hop thing, whatever you want to call it.
Uh-huh.
But I usually get these comments where people say, you know, it's something different about you. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
something that you know just stands out, or you have it, whatever. You
Yeah,
know. And I just tell you, like, you know what that it is God, yo.
for sure. For
It's an
sure.
anointing, you know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
I feel I have a responsibility to share that. This is not something that God gave me to keep to myself.
Absolutely,
Um,
man.
and that's why I
Absolutely.
call the new album is Back to My Future, because I stepped away like around 2006,
Hmm.
2000, you know, around that time. I went full time in the classroom. So I spent
Okay,
like 10 years teaching. And I had a service, you know, to do with that. God called me to do what I needed to do with that.
for sure.
Um, but then I kind of was missing, and I never separated myself from the music. Like in the
Uh-huh.
class, like I said, I was hip hop. Sometimes I'd be bored. I'm like, kids, are y'all bored? They were like, yeah. I'm like, okay, we finna make a rap about this, you know.
Oh, that's cool.
So I had them rhyming about adjectives, you know what I'm saying, and word
Yeah.
problems and all of that. So I never really, and I ended up doing a full educational album, which was pretty cool.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the album you did in 2009, correct? Like that it was
Yeah,
a so I read that that was aligned with like math and English standards. That's incredible, first of all, because
yeah,
not everyone could do math and English. So that's
right,
props
right.
on that. But what really inspired you to do that educational hip hop album, and what were your hopes for it? You know?
Well, you know, I don't like. I wasn't a I went to this program. It's called the TAP program. It's like alternative preparation program for teachers,
Okay.
right? Because I didn't go to school to become a teacher. Like I
Right.
always wanted to be a rapper. Like
Right.
truth be told, you know, like in college, my undergrad, my major was communications. You know,
Okay.
and I decided to do film and video because I was like, okay, when I'm a rapper, I want to be able to, you know, direct my own videos.
Right.
Like
Right.
my head was, you know what I'm saying?
Uh huh.
So when God called me to the classroom, here I am. I'm an atypical educator in
Yeah.
this classroom. You know, I don't have that knowledge of you know all the standards and all of this, but you have
Right.
the principal telling you you need to be standards based. Your
Yeah. Yeah.
lessons need to have this and follow, you know, and all of this. And
Hmm.
I'm like, okay, all right. So, but the kid's not getting it though. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I was teaching fourth grade, trying to teach them long division. I'm going over the steps. Like this is like the fifth day. You know what I'm saying?
Uh huh.
I'm like, okay, so what do you do? How do you you know divide this problem? And they're like, I can't remember, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So I'm all frustrated. I'm like, these kids are not getting it, right? I
Right.
get in my car and remember I am hip hop. First thing comes on is Busta Rhymes. Touch it, bring it back. You know
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah, of course,
So
classic right there. Yeah.
yeah. So in my mind, I'm thinking of the steps to long division because that's just in my spirit. I just left, you know, the classroom doing that, and
Right.
so then I end up rapping the steps to that track. And so
Awesome.
I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go do this in the classroom tomorrow and see what happens. And when I
Yeah.
tell you I dropped that and them kids pick it up like that,
Hmm.
you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? It took me 5 days and they didn't get it. And then I put it in a rap song and they got it.
They got it
So that was like the whole inspiration for doing that album. I'm like, yo, this is how we reach our kids, yo. We got to meet them where they are.
for
And, you
sure.
know, it's through the music.
For
So, yeah,
sure.
definitely.
So, do you think out aspects of the teacher in you? Because it's hard to turn that teacher part of you off, and
Right.
I don't think we should. So, do you think elements of you as an educator are going to be on this new album? But what can we expect to hear from this Back to My Future album?
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm definitely educating. I think it's important, like, for us to preserve hip hop as a culture.
Yeah.
So like this one song on the album, Rise Together.
Uh huh.
You listen to that album, yo, it's like I'm paying homage to so many like artists that came before. You know what I'm saying? So the idea, the premise behind that is kind of like you know, educating new listeners
Uh
so they
huh.
can go back and say, you know, what was that? I'm referencing Beastie Boys, I'm referencing KRS One, Left Eye,
Right.
like it's just so much in there. You know what I'm saying?
Going
So
through
it's
the whole
like
catalog.
Right, going back, you know what I'm saying? And then, but also moving forward to creating my own sound, like what is Kelly Glow sound. And then what I did uniquely with this album is for every single song on the album, I provide a Bible verse for reference. So each
Ooh,
song was inspired by a Bible verse. So that way you can go back and study and read on your own. So I made sure, to put that on the credits. So yeah, the educator in me is still
awesome.
prevalent throughout the whole album, but I'm not out here, like I'm trying to, I think sometimes we make a mistake of trying to just shove the message of Jesus down everybody's throat, like Jesus,
Yeah.
Jesus, Jesus. It's
Uh-huh.
not like that. It's just a good album. It's good music.
That's pretty exciting, man. That's really exciting. So, talk to me about the release. When this album will be available? In the fall, or when can we get our hands on it?
Yeah, it's out now. I did not really get a chance to push it.
Mhm.
Like I wanted to because I was finishing up my doctorate. So
Right.
it's kind of me going back and saying, hey, I got this project out, you guys check it out. So kellyglow.com, our website. Um,
Uh-huh.
you have the links there where you can, wherever you listen to digital music, you know what I'm saying? You can find Kelly Glow, Back to My Future. So yeah. It's on
Right.
Spotify, it's on Apple Music, it's on Google Play, Amazon, iTunes, all of that. So if you just go to my website and go to the discography, then you can get links to check it out.
Oh, that's pretty exciting,
kellyglow.com.
man. KellyGlow.com. All right, we definitely gonna have to keep up with that, man. It sounds like an incredible movement that you're really championing right now. It's just schools trying to figure out how to relate to young people. There's so it's amazing to me to see that you are sort of wedding both of those initiatives at the same time. I think that's pretty inspiring.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you for having me, yo.
Of course, man. It's been a joy, man. It's been a joy. Good people, y'all know what to do, man. Go to kellyglow.com, get that album, Back to My Future, and support good music, man. That's what it's all about. Y'all know what it
Yeah.
is. Y'all songs like are doing it wrong. Kelly, thank you so much.
All right, Chris B.
All right. And before you go, Kelly, can I get you to do a drop for the station real quick?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, just saying, it's Kelly Glow, and you're now listening to Songs That Could Do No Wrong, hosted by the Baddest Chaplain.
Hosted by the Baddest
Chaplain.
Chaplain.
Yes,
Chaplain.
yes, ma'am.
Songs that can do no wrong.
Yep.
All right. Hey, yo, check it out. You're listening to Kelly Glow, checking out songs that can do no wrong by the Baddest Chaplain.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
All right. So
And
this
you know,
this will go up. Um, uh,
say it again. You just
computer.
froze up.
Oh, trip. Oh no, I was saying, yeah. So this will